Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Sunless Skies. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we follow our ambition with the Song of the Sky. Last episode we were writing things, and this time around I'm gonna speak to the Omnivorous Publisher again and see if I can publish another canto, or however it's pronounced, yeah, let's see. The first one was a quiet success, quickly forgotten. That's not good enough. Let's try a second one. I haven't written it yet, but let's see. The publisher's office, which you suspect is also his house, is even more dilapidated than when you first visited. The doorknob comes off in your hand. If you want to make the second canto an extraordinary success, write about something extraordinary, says the publisher, jabbing his cigarette into his desk for emphasis. Something that no one will be able to ignore. So, I need to write the second canto, and I must complete a momentous exploit that will inspire awe in the population of New Winchester. I wonder if I can do that. I have done such things as the many things that I have over here, which actually is not that much. I could write about the Tacketies, that would be interesting. You are the Saint of Wells. You mean there's more wells than that? Oh no, I'm gonna die so much. There's so many things that we could do. I'm purposely not reading too much about it, because it's all a bit of spoilery. I don't know if the game... I don't know how the game takes that, because a lot of it... I mean, Sunless Seas had the same issue. Not issue, I guess, but anyway. We have discovered the fate of the Parsifal, which is kind of cool. You are the scourge of monsters. You've killed the fearsome things that haunt the loneliest parts of the sky, and that is because I achieved that. Let's write about the Parsifal. I bet people would like that. The publisher is silent for a long time once you finish telling your tale. He blinks a few times, even his cigarette has extinguished. Stunning, he says, finally. Make sure you write it exactly like that. And my deeds are indeed worth publishing, which is great, and I'm going to write the second canto. It's not actually skipping time, which is good, because the text said last episode that it was skipping time. It is not. You've accomplished something so remarkable, so singular. It can't be perfectly translated into words, but you'll try. Also, and I was pretty sure that any choice would do the thing. But anyway, you sit at your desk. You stand, you pace, you sit again. You stare from the window. Where to begin? You remember the look in the publisher's vaguely reptilian eyes when you first told him this story. A mix of disbelief, awe, and half-concealed greed. He'd been a kinder audience than the blank page. You begin to type, remembering how you worded your story in that first telling. Soon the typewriter is clacking and ringing merrily. The story stirs in your mind like some disturbed undersea monster, unspooling its tendrils before rushing Leviathan-like to the surface. I wonder... I know a lot of writers write like this, but I wonder if it is easier for somebody without experience to write things like this. I find, in my very limited experience, that it is easier to write write in inspiration when you have inspiration. Short stories work really well for that. And sometimes not even short stories, just like a specific time, a specific thing that you want to talk about. Like, the game does this it's not this game that does it, but other games do it as well. Not all of them, but yeah, that you just saw my toolbar. Anyway, so I find that it's easier to, like, the description of a monster. You just think of a description of a monster, you put yourself in the mindset of the writer, and you describe it as if it were being described in the middle of a room, of a book, I mean, and you just write it, and you see how long it takes. It could take a paragraph, it could take a bunch of pages, especially if you start making up characters and just, go on with it. I'm drawing specifically from talking specifically about a thing that I wrote about, or I have one short story that I probably don't have anymore, because it's been a long while, where I remember distinctly trying to write about clothing. I was sort of inspired to write about alien clothing, as it were, and I wrote a short story about somebody descending into the dungeons of a town, because they had arrived at town wearing this weird clothing that they had, and then I just kept going for a little while and wrote that. So when you don't have anything in mind, like this story that we're going to tell, doing that is sort of, it doesn't matter. But if you have like a big, of course, when if you have time and you have a big story that you want to tell, you should start writing. Let's talk about this particular corridor that I was going through and put words to paper, or pen to paper as it is, and just write about that corridor. And you can go on for a little while longer or not, but I find that it's the easiest thing to do is just trace out a general direction where you're going to go. You're going to start with this, and then you're going to go over here, you're going to talk about that, and at the end is going to be this, and then you just sort of start piecing things together and writing bits here and there. And if you start from the beginning, you start from the beginning, but you have the roadmap already, which is, I feel that it's, yeah, I feel that it's a thing. Now, this, I haven't read this yet, but I will. This choice is making me think that what I want to do probably is to make a choice that will suit my character, because I made a hearts check. And maybe if I had written a realistic, instead of, because I wrote a fantasy, if I had written whatever the other option was, maybe I would have not had a hearts check before. I'm not sure. Was it a hearts check before, or am I confusing it? I had a hearts check last episode. Anyway, a pause in your fevered typing. Before you write any further, you must make a decision. There are many ways to tell a tale. Are you writing dry journalism with a hint of dark humor? Sure. A page-turner with bounding, scintillating prose, or yearning verse tinged with melancholy. And it's that word again, but this time around used as a noun. I'm going to say a page-turner with bounding, scintillating prose, because that sounds like a hearts check right there. And besides, it's prose. We're going to go with prose. Also, I wonder, the hint of dark humor there, I wonder if that is straight out of what journalism was like in Victorian times. Because I don't know specifically in London how journalism was like. I do know how journalism was like at the end of 19th century here in Portugal, because I studied that a little bit. And it did have some, well, more or less a lot of dark humor in it, and humor in general. It's a very weird, the history of journalism is fascinating. But it's very weird for somebody that knows journalism of the modern age and looking back and seeing what was written and how it was written, what was considered professional, what was considered appropriate or not. And generally, not very many things were not considered appropriate. But anyway, let's go with the prose. Words that bite even as they entice the reader to chase after the next. Your aim is simple, to devour the reader whole, and to only regurgitate them when you are sure you are done with them. Words spit like lightning from your fingertips. The typewriter shudders and clanks in protest under the strain. A thing that happens with typewriters, not all of them, but vast majority of them, then certainly the ones at this age, is that they would jam if you type too fast. Not necessarily if you type too fast, but like if you press two keys at the same time, they will jam together because the little prongs, or whatever they're called, they have a name, they would just try to go for the same place, and they would jam. And yeah, that's how typewriters work. So it requires extreme skill to not do that and still type fast. There were some typewriters that didn't do that. There were mechanisms that were invented to prevent that, and certainly more recent typewriters had other ways of doing it. But anyway, you write in a kind of fury, your mind's eye raging with images of gloating stars and endless burning emptiness, and then you sit back, exhausted as you realize you've run out of words. The second canto is complete. It's not even a draft, it's just immediate. You didn't even read it again. Well, when you take the second canto to the Omnivorous Publisher, he flashes a goblin-like grin. "We're going to set the city on fire," he declares with convincing menace. Let me guess, it's not going to go well. The printing press wheezes into life. Papers churn. The next day, fortunately not, the copies of the first and second cantos are being ruthlessly hawked by bookstalls and enterprising penny vendors across the sky. "The extraordinary tale of a local sky captain who discovered the lost Parsifal," declares one salesman, waving copies of your pamphlet in the air with like a holy text. "A voyage beyond imagining," shouts another with relish. "Those who read the song of the sky shall not leave unscathed." The second canto is quickly the subject of fevered gossips and speculation. Could it all be true? The newspapers deign to review it and throw around words like astonishing, to describe both your exploits and your prose. Very good. And I can't write a third one because I don't have Savage Secrets. So I need to get those, and I need to stop selling them as well because they're relatively rare. Okay, well, perhaps not, and that's that, I suppose. Wait a minute. What the heck is that? London's invention of the monitor-class locomotives has sparked alarm in the Reach. It's called the Tacketies Answer. London's invention... The Tacketies value their privacy and don't want Her Majesty's watchdogs freely prowling their skies. Word has it that the indurate veteran has convinced the Colonial Assembly to invest in a proportionate response. I'm going to learn more about this, quote, appropriate... Did I say appropriate response? No, I said proportionate, but... Ah, well. Ask around in the more independent-minded pubs of New Winchester. After 4 hours... No, sorry, not 4 hours. 4 pubs and rather more than 4 drinks, you managed to learn the following. Firstly, the Tacketies have embarked on a project to develop new locomotives of their own. It is only a matter of time until the first ones are completed. Secondly, that the work is taking place at the O'Brien factory at Lustrum, which is here in the Reach, so I'm pretty sure. Thirdly, and it also would make sense, thirdly, that the Tacketies are desperate for donations of expertise or bronzewood to expedite the construction. Actually, if I could bring... And I need to bring bronzewood or crew to Lustrum if you want to assist the Tacketies. Bring munitions if you want to sabotage them. Well, thank you. I won't do that, but that's fair enough. So, is everything all right with me? I can't really tell. Yeah, it is. It's the easiest way is to go in there. Oh. The mid-morning calm is shattered by furious yelling in the distance. The psalmists are causing trouble again, shouts a passing urchin joyously. Wait, I'm exploring the city? I am. I'm gonna follow the sound of commotion. Oh no. Oh no. Chaplet Street is lined with gleaming churches dedicated to every conceivable deity, sect, or heresy. And there is a corner of Chaplet Street, nestled between a crematorium and a tobacco shop, where the city's least popular temples have been segregated. On this grubby and profane little corner, a group of yellow-colored vicars, I think it's vicars, are trying to make themselves heard above the furious yelling of a gaunt priest. The psalmists seem to be getting into an unholy row with the new sequencers. As you approach, psalmists pour from their ramshackle church and charge. Oh no! Oh, I can be nice, I suppose. I can attempt to mediate the dispute. That sounds like a thing I would do. No, it doesn't. You can't imagine what common ground exists between a cult who revere... Yeah, I need... yeah. It's a cult that reveres biblical curses, and a cult who worships Albion's son. But you will find it. I haven't... Oh. Ooh, interesting. If you hold, it doesn't actually go in there, so you need to Ah, dang it. Ah, well. The cultists utterly ignore your impassioned pleas. A scrabbling, vicious, faintly embarrassing street fight ensues. Faintly embarrassing. Fortunately, the constables arrive and break it up before long. Days again? One of the constables pinches the bridge of her nose. She pulls a slip of paper from her pocket and hands it to the psalmist's head priest. We're shutting your church down. Effective immediately. You've been nothing but trouble since you arrived. The priest stares at the paper. He sits heavily on his church's doorstep. You have been asked to ferry the 13th psalmists to the White Well in the Blue Kingdom. I haven't been to the Blue Kingdom yet. The psalmist priest throws himself at your feet. I kneel before you, twice scorned, he says, once by my former congregation and now again by the prejudiced machinations of the city. Please take us aboard your train. He pulls a tattered map from his equally tattered robes. Here, the White Well in the Blue Kingdom, where the dead go. We will build anew there. We will spread our word, even beyond the veil. Okay. I suppose the twice-scorned priest's haggard face lights up for a moment. For this, you will escape condemnation. Offer to ferry this. Yeah, let's do that. The psalmists of the cursing church are so overjoyed that a few of them attempt to smile. It's a terrible thing to behold. They settle back into their habitual frowns as they gather their meager belongings and file onto your train. I like them. I like them. I don't know what you're talking about, the curses. So, yeah, we can go in here, but there's no... Ask them to know the thing, but that's... You may find advice. I know all the advice. I know all the things. It was interesting that I got 2 different checks there, though, but anyway. We're good. We're ready, and we're leaving. Oh, boy. So, I need to bring wood, and if Magdalen's jumble of undistinguished souls... Bronzewood. Okay, we're going north. We're absolutely going north, and that's obviously to where I need to go. So, let's start drifting away. Let's turn cruise control. Cruise control on. Yeah. Might be a little bit better for control here. No, that's the wrong button. Okay. Because that way I can control left and right while dashing. It's kind of complicated. So we are still in a race. But I'm so confident about the speed of my drifting here that that I will be going up there. And if I fail, I fail. I don't really see a reason to... Hey, Tacketies, how's it going? I don't really see a reason to be afraid. I don't think they're gonna crash, aren't they? Okay. Yeah, we're sort of going the right direction here. The Hebrean wilds and all that. I don't know if that's a mean... Okay. They actually braked to avoid me. That was kind of surprising. Okay. So I'm buying wood. Okay, let's get this in here. Brake. Yep, we got this. There we go. And also we have things to do over here, I'm pretty sure. There we go. A traveling circus has settled. New arrivals at the circus. Attempt to recruit. Listen to their stories. Lower my terror ever so slightly, because it wasn't really that big. I can collect the free tickets, and I will, because there's really no reason not to. And I can write a port report, which is always good, because I think I have delivered some of the ones that I have. I can attend a performance if I want to. I can go behind the tents for no reason whatsoever. At least I think there's no reason whatsoever for this. I can just talk to the people that I helped before, because we have completed this area. And I think they just have the same dialogue as before. The game really should have a thing to tell you the same, you know, if you've read something already. I feel. There's no performance at the moment. Oh, I thought there would be. Anyway, we're good. The reason why I'm here... Oh, so that's fine. Is to buy the bronzewood. So how much do I need? Okay, I pressed H and it did a weird thing. So I need 3 more. That's good enough. That's absolutely good enough. Absolutely. Should I buy more? Well, the problem here is I don't know how much I need to bring to Lustrum to help them out. To Tacketies, I mean. But even if I meet him at the estate of Port Prosper... Really? You mean not Port Haven? Okay, that's good, because we need to go back anyway. Okay, I'll get the bronzewood, and we're gonna get out of here. So, yeah, Port Prosper is that one. There's 2 ports, and it confuses me greatly. Okay, so cruise control, off we go. Don't crash against things too much, and try to overtake the Tacketies because they're weird. Bye. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna go up through here. Through the Van Zessen wastes. There's shining over there. That's not really sure why, actually. I was gonna say it's because people are fighting, but I don't know. Maybe it was a bug. Okay. It's not that great for the whole drifting thing. I just dodged that. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. and off we go. Oh, sometimes I get into a rhythm, but like the balance is tricky to keep because it doesn't always feel this with the same speed, and it might be a combination of a cooldown and just the heat. Also, I need to go north, but you know, from here, because I need to figure out what is up there, because I think we missed something. But all in due time. We actually might come back here right after. But because we're in a race, we're just not going to bother with that for right now. And we're hearing all the amazing weird sounds. Oh, okay. That's the one. And the game doesn't necessarily react super kindly when I'm trying to drift very often and still rotate. I'm not really sure if that's also connected. Okay. Port Prosper. This is not where we need to be, but this is where we are right now. So I can explore Port Prosper, but I don't think anything matters for that. Offer transport company. The Bleak Industrialist's estate. The estate takes up half a street. The mansion itself is a grandiose structure with Venetian windows, a cupola. Cupola? Do I know what that is? Is it those things over there? Or is it that thing over there? That's a rosacea. And that might be that thing over there. Columns in the Palladian style. But the garden is tangled with weeds. Muddy water pools glumly at the bottom of disused fountains. The Industrialist receives you in one of his drawing rooms, sitting with a rum glass beside a fire. He has a sour cast to his mouth and eyes that blaze with indiscriminate loathing. Before he answers, I'm going to ask why he sent for you. He knocks back the rum in a single gulp and calls for his butler to fetch another. There is a distant kingdom where the dead can be found. The Industrialist's voice is hoarse with disuse. I need an enterprising sort such as yourself to visit it for me and retrieve someone. It should be a simple enough affair. In return, I will pay you a small fortune. Who does he want? Oh, that's me. Who does he want brought back from the dead? I ask him. Some years ago, I lost someone dear to me, he says. A world without her in it is worthless, miserable. I need her back. So he wants me to bring his lost love back from the kingdom of the dead. I could try to... Well, definitely will try to extract a higher reward. I can share my story of loss. You too have lost a loved one. I want to do that. Let's go with it. As you tell your story, the Industrialist's hateful glare melts. He weeps silently at first, but by the end he is racked by convulsive sobbing. Finally someone who understands, mutters the Industrialist when he is recovered, dabbing his eyes. Thank you. London has an embassy in the Blue Kingdom, a place called Sky Barnet. I cultivated a contact among the diplomats who I hoped would help me, but he's proved useless. Maybe you'll get more value from him than I could. There's no further conversation. The Industrialist retreats to his quarters, sniffling, and I got one moment of inspiration, which is good, I assume. I can go back to him, but I don't think anything is gonna do anything. He shares his finest liquor. He makes infinitesimally small talk. He asks with unwavering intensity about your progress finding the lost love, capital L, as this game does, because it's not like a thing. So I think we're in a good place right now. We have barrels of lost hours. We can buy if we need to. I can buy some of these, which actually... Oh, freaking hell, I did a wrong thing right there. That's how you do. Which is not necessarily a bad idea. Let's go ahead and do that. Then just wasted 20 money. 20 money. Off we go. Top of the morning, or no, toodaloo, cheerio, many things. Okay. Are we gonna be okay here? There's fire. This is the one. Right. People just shooting at everything. So I can travel second class, but I can't because of reasons. Because of I need to present myself first. And checks my cargo, everything is good, and then I can travel second class as one does. My turret has fallen, and off we go with this weird thing. That's such weird stuff. Such weird things that happen. We're gonna finish this race. We're gonna be at first, hopefully. Well, just finish it. It's just a 30-day time trial. But we're out of time for the day, so not for the race. So I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Sunless Skies. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.